a friction. Before I can have friction, I must have two bodies in contact. Yes or no? To produce heat from my palm, I must rub off my two palms together. Yes or no? And by that doing, what do? I generate what class? Heat. Yes or no? So friction is a contact force that opposes the motion of a body in what class? In contact with what class? One another. Yes or no? Yes or no? But take note of this. On a smooth surface, on a what? Frictional force is zero. Frictional force is waiting. Frictional force are waiting. Now, why is it zero? Because the rougher the surface, the higher the friction. The smoother the surface, the lower the friction. All of you pay attention. These two words are synonymous. This one only occurs to a solid surface. To a waiting. Why this one occur to the layers of liquid and water? Gas. From your job, there is a law here called Stokes law. Jam asked me to state it for you. If you have that with you, I will show you there. Stokes law. I have to teach these two simultaneously. Once I'm done with it, I teach you this, and I will show you the work calculation. I am not done. I am not done with my statement. There are now two types of friction. The first one is called static friction, and the second one is what called kinetic friction. Still explanation. Now, remember I was telling you that the rougher the surface, the higher the frictional force. The smoother the surface, the lower the rate of frictional force. If you have watched ice hockey documentary very well, if you have watched ice hockey documentary, you know it's a sport. Now, if you go to that field barefooted, what will happen? You will fall. They use a roller, like a skating roller. That is what they use to play with. I don't know the name of it, but can we call it golf? One round thing like this. That and they play to each other. Yes or no? That's ice hockey now. Is that ice hockey? Yes, that's ice hockey now. Now, if you go to that surface barefooted, what will happen? You will fall off. You do what? Because the surface is perfectly smooth. Because the surface is what, Clark? Smooth. And when the surface is smooth, what is friction? Zero. But as bad as it is a force that opposes motion. Without friction, we may not be able to walk on the surface of this earth. Why? Because our surfaces are raw. Our surfaces are what class? Raw. What are the advantages of friction? Remember, I've not even given you. I spent like 10 minutes explaining this man. I've not even touched this man. What are the advantages of friction? One of the first things you will tell an examiner is that it helps us in what class? Locomotion or what class? Movement. Biology will call it locomotion. Number two. You see your daddy's car. If your daddy is driving a car and you get to a final destination, what will your daddy do? Your daddy will apply brake, Abby, and the car will class stop. How will the car stop? Class, we have a tire and the surface. Abby, now, when your dad applies brake, it is not only the brake that is working. There will be a contact between the surface and your daddy's car. The surface will provide a grip for your daddy's car. So it means that friction, even when you apply your brake, it uses the principle of friction to stop the car. To do what? To stop. It means that without friction, your daddy's car will not even be able to stop. Do you understand? Now, your blender, examiner, your blender. Why do you think your blender has sharp edges? And your pepper, you put it inside it. What will happen? It blends it. It makes contact with the pepper or whatever you put inside and begin to work class. Grind it before it becomes what class? Smooth. Why? Because there is a friction. It means that grinding or blender uses what? Principle of what class? Friction. Blending. Am I making any sense? One of the craziest disadvantages of friction is that it causes what class? Wear and tear. No matter how beautiful this palm is, it went to go. It starts what class? Chopping off. Why? Because it causes what class? Wear and tear. Another disadvantage of friction is that it makes the efficiency of the machine not to be what class? 100%. Enough of talking. Let us write it. Class, we will do calculation. I love calculation. Let us now discuss. Quick the first one. Friction. Right. A friction is a force A friction is a force. A friction is a force that opposes motion of two bodies in contact. That it opposes a friction is a force that opposes the motion. A friction is a force that opposes motion of two bodies in contact relatively to each other. Relatively to each other. That is, a friction is a contact force. 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 Full stop. Full stop. Full stop. Types of friction. That is, a friction is a contact force. Start. Types of friction. Number one, static friction. Number one, static friction. Class, please take note of this. Take note of this. Static, right? It is also called limiting friction. It is also called limiting friction. Hey, are they available? Can I write it on the board? Or they are not available? If they are not available, don't let me bother. You can hear now. Oh yeah, pick the first one. What's my first statement? It is also called what? Comma. This is a type of friction. This is a type of friction that occurred to a body. That occurred to a body at rest. That occurred to a body at rest. Happy birthday in arrears. Happy birthday in arrears. That occurred to a body. I'm lost. At rest or on the verge of motion. Can I spell verge? V-E-R-G-E. Class, when you say verge of motion, is there motion? When you say verge of motion, is there motion?
No.
Verge is what, class? About to. But verge is what, class? About to. Give me my last statement. That occurred to a body on what class? Oh, yeah, right. Comma. In this type of friction, applied force, in this type of friction, applied force is lower than the frictional force. In this type of friction, applied force is lower than applied force is lower than the frictional force. Number two, dynamic friction. Number two, dynamic friction. This is also called kinetic friction. This is also called kinetic friction. Can I move on? Right. This is a type of friction that occurs to a body in motion. Class, oh yeah. In this type of friction, applied force is greater than frictional force. In this type of friction, applied force is greater than friction. Full stop. Is greater than what, class? Is greater than what, class? Full stop. Yes, full stop. Yes. Now, right. Laws of solid friction. There is a law. There is a law that governs all of them. Laws of solid friction. But class, permit me to explain the two types of friction. Everybody look at Mr. Femi. Look at those log of bench. Chairs. This particular one. Just look at it. If I bring it here, and I call a 1-year-old boy to come and push it, will that boy be able to push that body on this surface? Will it? No, it might not. Let's be realistic. It will fall off. It will not be able to move it from one point to another. It will work class, fall off. Look at that log of work, church. Do you guys agree with me? Do you know why? Class, if this is the body and you try to push it by this applied force, if the applied force is lower than friction, there will not be motion. There will not be waiting. And because there is no motion, acceleration is equal to what class? Zero. The type of friction that this body will have is called what class? Static friction. It is a friction that occurs to a body at rest. It means that the force you are applying to push the body is lower than the frictional force between the surface and the what class and the body. So therefore, what type of friction do you call it? Static friction. Why? Because frictional force is greater than what class. You now call somebody like me that, sir, I don't have strength. Please, can you help me push it? The moment I now push it and the body starts moving, what will now happen to this body? This applied force now be greater than what class? Friction. Now, in this case, there is what class? Motion. There is what? Motion. Does it mean that frictional force is not there? There is friction. But in this case now, the force you are now applying is now greater than the frictional force between the contact and the waiting surface. That type of friction is now called what class? Kinetic what class? Friction. Now listen very well. To overcome static friction, to what? To overcome waiting. You need excess work. You need more work to overcome static friction. But the moment the friction becomes what class? Kinetic. The work you need to do becomes what class? Slower. Becomes what class? Lower. So it means that static friction at any point in time is always greater than what class? Dynamic friction. Am I making any sense? Am I making any sense? Because to overcome static friction, you need to do more work. That means the force is greater to overcome it compared to what class? Dynamic what class? Friction. Pick the subheading. Loss of weighting, solid friction. I have 8. I have what class? 8. But for your level, I will give you 6. Then we ask you the 6. And they will give you calculation D. Are you guys ready? Pick the number 1. Number 1, friction opposes motion. Number 1, friction opposes motion. Please, if I'm too fast, let me know and tell me to slow down. Friction opposes motion. Number 1, friction opposes motion. Number 2, friction is independent. Number 2, friction is independent on the speed of sliding. Number 2, friction is independent on the speed of sliding. Class, I state the 6th law, I explain it before I start calculation. I repeat myself. I state the 6th law, I explain it before I start calculation. Number 1, give me my first one. Number 1, friction opposes motion. Number 2, friction is independent on the speed of what class? Sliding. Number 3, friction is independent on the area, on the surface area in contact. Friction is independent on the surface area in contact. Friction is independent on the surface area in contact. SS3 students, don't hesitate to give me question. You have challenges at this one. Just bring the question. Let everybody learn. Is that right? Give me my last statement. I'm lost.
Friction is independent.
Number what now?
4.
Number 4, Abby. Right. Frictional force. Friction. Right. Friction depends on the nature. Frictional force depends on the nature of the surface. Friction depends on the nature of the surface in contact. Friction depends on the nature of the surface in contact. Open bracket. Rough or smooth surface. Open bracket. Rough or smooth surface. Open bracket. Rough or smooth surface. Close bracket. Rough or smooth surface. Remember, when I started, what was my statement? The rougher the surface, the higher the friction. The smoother the surface, the lower the friction. So it means that friction depends on the nature of the surface. When a surface is rough, The frictional force is what class? I. When a surface is smooth, the frictional force is what class? 0 Newton. Is that clear? The frictional force is what class? 0. So friction does not occur on a smooth surface. Guy, you go don't sleep tired. But I respect you. You're just coming from school, so I need to respect that. But please, just let's make it much more interesting. I'll soon leave it. Give me my next technique. I'm in 5 or 6. Oh yeah, 5. 5. Friction is always parallel. Friction is always parallel to the surface in contact. Friction is always parallel to the surface in contact. Number 6. Number 6. Number 6. Friction is directly proportional. Friction is directly proportional. Friction is directly proportional to the normal reaction. Friction is directly proportional to the normal reaction. Friction is directly proportional to the normal reaction. This two are they duster? This is not a duster. What about this? Is a duster? Okay. Friction is directly proportional to what? Give me my statement now. Oh yeah, class. Oh yeah, explanation for the 5 law. First one, friction opposes what class? Motion. We'll talk about that. I don't need to go back. Next question. Class. Speed of sliding means the movement of the object. Yes or no? So no matter how fast or how slow the object is on the surface, it can be fast, it can be slow. It does not affect friction. Don't disturb me with that. I think I'll switch off my phone. Give me my last statement, please. So, class, even if the body is fast or slow on the surfaces, friction does not work, class. Friction is not bothered, provided that the surface is what, class? Soft, smooth, or what, class? Go. Give me the next one.
Friction is independent
Of the
on the surface area
in contact. So, class, no matter how large or how small the place is, even if the place is like this or like this, friction is what class? Independent on the surface area in what class? Area. When you say surface area, you are talking about the how large or how compact the place is. That does not affect what class? Friction. Number 5. Leave number 4 number 5. Number 4 number 5, diagram, illustration, and calculation. Let's go. Now, if I have a surface like this, now I'm going to write from here to here. None of you should write. I'll give you at least 15 minutes or 20 minutes to write. There are formulas and there are things I would want to explain here. Class, if I do this surface like this is horizontal surface. Whenever you see a surface like this, it means the surface is rough. Is what class? Rough. If I place an object on this surface, let me say the mass of the object is 10 kg. The weight of this object is always acting downward. W, which is equal to what class? MG, class. If somebody like Mr. Femi applied a force here, now, based on the definition of friction, look at it very well. Where do you think friction will occur? Read friction again. That opposite to motion of what class? Two bodies in contact. So if Mr. Femi is dragging this object like this, according to definition of friction, friction will drag it like, provided that the surface is what class? Rough. Am I making anything? So what will be the direction of this of friction based on this diagram? The direction will be like this. Class. So guys, let us put F as the applied force. As waiting. Thank you. Let us put FR as the weighting. Let us put FR as the weighting. Frictional force. As the weighting on this surface. Class, pay attention. This is horizontal surface. You are about to ask question. Can I continue first? Or I should continue first? Why do you say that? So if the man is dragging it, let me tell you something. Where the man stands does not matter. Look at this bench. If I want this bench to move towards this side, I can be here and be pushing it. I can decide to come here. and still push it like this, it will still be moving in the same direction. So where I'm standing does not matter. It is the direction of the object that I'm talking about. I can be here, stand here, and still be dragging this object like this. I can also stand here and still be dragging it this way. So where I stand does not matter. Yeah. Did I tell you that this object is moving like this? Relax. You are not confused. You are cracking your brain to understand this diagram. And I am not done with the diagram, but I'm going to explain it for you. Class, between the foot of this bench and this surface, there is a contact. Therefore, there is friction between the foot of this object and this object. If Mr. Femi decides to drag it this way, naturally, the direction of which the friction will be effective when it is opposing it will be like this. I'm not telling you that the object is moving this way, because I'm not even telling you that if the force I'm applying is greater or the force I'm applying is lower. All I'm telling you is that if I decide to drag an object like this, according to definition of friction, the effective or the direction of friction should be in this direction. I have not told you that this object is moving. I have only tell you that if Mr. Femi decides to drag this object this way, the friction will oppose it this way. Because friction is a force that opposes the motion of two bodies in one class. Are you still here? Can I continue? Can I move on? Class, when you were in SS2, you were taught Newton's law of motion. We want to consider the third law of motion that states that for every action, there is an equal but opposite reaction. My darling student, let me assume that this is the bench you are sitting. And let me assume that this is your bumble. Your bumble assumption. The weight of this object is acting downward. The weight of an object will act downward. The weight is what class? Mg. Now, there is a force that is meant to counterbalance the weight. That force is called normal reaction. It's called waiting. For every action, for every what? There is an equal but opposite what? Reaction. It means that if the weight of this object is 15 Newton, what you will have will be mg, which is also equal to what now? 15 Newton. It means that the force that will occur at the normal reaction is also what now? 15 Newton. So a point will now come when you now sit for a very long time, you start feeling something in your bumble. It is the effect of what now? The reaction. Because it will counterbalance the weight you are applying to that bench. Why? Because for every action, there is an equal but opposite reaction. So if your weight is acting downward, there is a counterbalance force, which will be called what? Reaction. The weight is acting downward, the action will act upward towards the center of the object. Class, I have explained Newton's law. Class, pay attention. Now, there is a normal reaction. There is a what? Normal reaction. Now, the reaction will now be up. The reaction will be what class? Up. So you now have R, which is equal to what class? W, which is equal to what class? Mg. Where did I get this law? I got it from what class? Third law of motion. Third law of weighting. Third law of weighting. Oh yeah, my darling student, look at law 4. Sorry, law 5 and law 6. Pick law 4 and law 5 and law 6. Friction is solution. Look at the surface. Look at friction. Are they not